Okay, this time we're going to be installing the EGR valve on our 97 Pontiac Grand Prix. And as always, if you need to disassemble your engine, you can. If you missed our video when we disassembled the engine, you can always just reverse the steps that you see here, and you can perform the disassembly. We always try to remove as little as possible, and we always try to move out of the way whenever possible, and that saves you quite a bit of time when you start assembling back your engine. And this one has two bolts that hook on to the head, to the rear or left side of the engine, or the head of on the left side or rear. It's actually the left side of the engine, which is the rear or the engine compartment closest to the firewall. And it has, in this one, you will need a 13mm socket for the two bolts that hook on to the head, and also you'll need for the bolt that holds the EGR tube that goes to the exhaust, will be a 10mm socket actually for the rear bolt. Will be a 10mm socket, and the bolt that hooks on the EGR tube comes in from the back. So it's best to be performed when you have your transmission dipstick removed, because the dipstick comes in right here, and it's kind of in the way for you to get your tools in there, in your hands. So we'll get that bolt in there. It comes in from the back. So you have to carefully maneuver the bolt in there without dropping it. You just wiggle that piece around till you get it in. And it's a piece that looks just like this one here. See if I can get you to see it. So it hooks on this way, and it hooks on from the back like this way, which is back here. You kind of don't see it now with the EGR, but the tube comes in like this, just like this one. This is the other side that comes in right here to the this is the front one that hooks onto the front of or I should say to the back of the bottom intake manifold. So tube is the same size, and it looks just like this one, and it hooks on, comes down like this, and you put in the bolt like this, in this way, back here in the back. So this particular tube will be installing it next. This one goes to the back of the manifold on top. So let's do this one. Once you get it in there, you get your 10mm socket. You're going to need an extension. So you need a 10mm socket with extension. And we'll get our stubby ratchet. This is our 13mm socket. And we'll get our swivel head ratchet. It's a lifesaver because it gets into a lot of tight places where you normally can't get a regular ratchet. And this is also easier done before you install your crossover pipe, which you'll be doing next. And I'll show you the crossover pipe. This is easier done when you got the crossover pipe out, for obvious reasons, because the pipe sits like this, so you have very limited access to those bolts. So best performed if you already removed, if you have removed your crossover pipe right here, which goes right here, which goes from the front manifold to the rear manifold, exhaust manifolds. Okay, next we'll be installing the EGR tube that runs from the EGR valve to the back of our intake manifold here. You'll be using a 13mm socket, and you simply slide that retainer on both sides, insert the tube on both sides, install your nut, and you'll bolt to the rear of the intake manifold. This will be the lower intake manifold. These cars have actually two of them. On top of here will be installing next will be the plenum, called the plenum or upper intake manifold. So this is connected to the back of the lower intake. We'll get our 13mm socket with our ratchet and get that snug. It doesn't have to be real tight. You don't want to strip the bolts. The manifold, by the way, it's aluminum, so I take it easy with those. And that is the EGR valve installation in a nutshell on our 97 Pontiac Grand Prix with a V6 3800 Series 2 engine. And this procedure should be good. If you have a 3800 Series 2 engine, it should be very similar, if not the same. And hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe and like and share. And as always, try to stay clean. Just try.